We're heading to a big Viking sport fish to go take a look at the radar. The radar is not showing up. It's just showing it's no radar detected on the chart plotter. So we're going to go up there, pop the radar array open, check for power, see if anything's burned up, check for any trip breakers and fuses. And I should have a pretty good view of the harbor. I'll take some video of that. So yesterday we installed a couple coils and a new thermal expansion valve. I'll show you what those look like right now. So these are coils that control these valves right here that shut off. They allow flow of the refrigerant through, depending if the set point is calling for it or not. They electrically open the valve, and then the valve has a poppet and a spring-loaded closed. Then we had to replace down here, see that little guy? It's called a thermal expansion valve. The other one was stuck wide open. This is just like a carburetor. All it does is change the liquid into a gas, and then it sends it out to the refrigerator boxes. So that was bad, so we changed that out. We pulled a vacuum, and now we're going to service the system up today. Switch you guys over, but I might have explained to you that there were a couple issues. One of them being that this item was bad, and what this thing is called a thermal expansion valve. And how it works is high pressure liquid refrigerant comes in through this line right here, and it goes through the body, which is this gray part up here with this thing is called a gas cartridge, and that's a temp bulb. What happens is the liquid refrigerant comes in here, it goes in here, and all this is a needle and an orifice, kind of just like a carburetor. And all it does is it meters the liquid refrigerant through the orifice by the needle moving up and down through expansion and contraction of the gas cartridge, which is this thing, which happens because this is on the refrigerant line. And as the refrigerant line gets warmer or colder, the gas expands and contracts, which then drives the needle up and down in the body. Well, when that happens, when you take that liquid refrigerant and it runs through that orifice, it changes into a gas. And when that phase change occurs, it absorbs heat. So actually, when everybody says that, oh, the air conditioning is making cold, it actually isn't. It's really absorbing the heat out of the environment, because that phase change needs heat to happen. So it absorbs it. And then that now refrigerant goes out to a big copper coil, and it's ice cold, and that's how things get cold. Same thing for air conditioning, refrigeration, it's the same idea. Anyways, so they got that put in. We replaced a couple solenoid coils, which are these guys. These were, as you can see, in pretty rough shape. And one of them actually started melting on us for some reason, so we replaced those. And those shut the flow of refrigerant on and off to the different refrigerated boxes. This is a continuation. I just talked to you guys about the refrigeration, and we've also been working on the radar. And you guys are probably looking at this and saying, man, what is that? And this is the heart and soul of the radar system. It's called a transceiver. And this is where they generate the actual radar waves, and they get generated here in the magnetron, then they go through this little waveguide here, and then this is the emitter, and then this gets hooked up to the antenna, which then spins in circles and sends out a radar wave. But something happened to this. We think the boat got hit by lightning, and the power supply was shorted out, and now come to find out that this is also got to be turned into repair. So we'll be sending this up to thru in Washington State and get this repaired. You don't want to have to buy a new one of these. A new radar system for that size boat would probably be $50,000, I would guess. So yeah, we want to try to repair what we can.
I'm headed down to the docks to go take apart the mat that he needs for a job that he's currently on. We met while we were both serving our amazing country in Glenview, Illinois. We were both active duty in the United States Navy. It wasn't always easy, but that's what makes life a little more interesting. I'll start for now with the years after high school, and at some point I'll talk about the rough upbringing that I had. I joined the Navy at the end of my senior year of high school. I joined so that I could travel the world. Side note, I didn't get to travel very much. Okay, I found the guy that I'm looking for to deliver my part. You see this monkey going up that ladder?
So we're up here on the hardtop. Pretty nice view up here. So we didn't find any power up here, so we're going to go down below at the helm and dig around in there and find out if we can figure where it's not getting power from. So I have determined that somewhere there is a network box that's in between the control and the antenna. Now the trick is going to be to find it. So I'm starting to dig through panels and underneath helms and things of that nature.
We need some parts for that job, so we are headed over to West Marine.
So after removing all this stuff, all of this and that, back here mounted on the wall, it's laying right here right now. That was back there, mounted on that bulkhead back there, and this is the cover that was on it. Found some corroded wire butt splices here. I cut those back and jumped power. I got good power, but I don't know if you guys will be able to see this. If you look in there, there's some scorch marks. The wires got black stuff on them, and there's scorch on these resistors right here. You can see it comes off when I wipe it. So one of these little, I believe these are like little capacitors, blew up, and so that unit has to be replaced. I found one in stock. It's about $1,000. So I'm going to order that overnight and get it coming. In the meantime, I got to put all this stuff back together because they're using the boat later today. But that's why the radar wasn't working. This is a power supply for the radar. It takes 24 volts in and then puts 48 volts, and we're talking DC here, puts 48 volts up to the radar antenna up on the hardtop to power that. And like I said, that's bad. So we're up here on the hardtop. Pretty nice view up here. Be working on this. We're gonna pop this open. There's some bolts down here. We're gonna pop that open, flip this back, and see what's going on in there, if they got power or whatever. But pretty nice view up here. This is downtown Key West. Okay, so we've got this radar opened up. You can see here, that's the drive motor, that's a waveguide for the radar array, that's the sending unit. And we're going to read some power right over here. The radar is currently supposed to be on, but if it was on, this would be turning if it's working. So we got that one taken care of. We'll find out later today if it's transmitting, and the AIS is transmitting, I should say, and the refrigeration unit that we repaired is working great. And you want to see a beauty of a boat, look at this thing. Look at all that wood on the back deck. It's one of our clients' boats that we take care of when they're in town. All right, well, on to the next one. I have to go check out a hydraulic cooler on an engine that we had to replace, and have to check an air conditioning unit. So we'll be going, well, I guess across the harbor. I was going to say across town, but it's only maybe a mile, not even. So some days are rough, let's just put it that way. And I'm kind of beat up and wore out right now. I'm tired. And then things like this happen, and it just kind of makes my whole day. So I had to come on this boat and check some things out. Come here, little buddy. Hi. Hi. Come here. And look at what I found. Aww. You're just a little lover, little cute little guy. Oh, yeah. How does that feel, buddy? Huh? Yeah? Does it feel good? Huh? Does it feel good? Huh? You miss your people? Huh? You're lucky I don't take you home with me. Huh? All right, back to work, little guy. Take care. Anyways, this boat is pretty much wrapped up. We weren't able to accomplish some stuff. We weren't able to accomplish everything. We're still waiting on parts for the radar, which I guess got stuck in shipping because of flooding. I don't know, something's going on in the Midwest somewhere. And that's what I was told, so I don't know when the parts are going to get here. So they're leaving Saturday, so I might have to drop ship those parts up to them. And then the AIS is not working, and that will get fixed up there. We changed both antennas with still no luck there. And we did get the refrigeration straightened out and air conditioning and a couple other little jobs. That's it for now. Subscribe, like. If you have questions, go ahead and leave a comment, and we'll get back to you.
Yeah, that's why I have a there.
Yeah. Thanks. Love a cold iced tea on a 100-degree day.